Hi all, Christian Bonadio bringing you this week's mini episode of Built Different. Thanks so much for tuning in and thank you for supporting the Built Different podcast series so far. Really hope you're enjoying it. If you didn't catch last week's episode, it was with Sian Johnson, head of people and culture for Baby Boo Fashion. Really interesting conversation and a perspective that is, I think, in the minority in many ways, or at least a little bit left of center in terms of this idea of how care can really be a fundamental tool in helping to unlock performance. So I won't say much more than that, other than to say that Sian spoke at length about how in her career, and definitely in her time as Chief People Officer at Cash Rewards and in her current role at Baby Boo Fashion, this kind of focus, this genuine focus, I should say, on care for an individual has really enabled her to help drive a business forward because of that feeling that those individuals felt and that shared connection to what the organization is going after. And of course, it comes down to the way that all of us as leaders connect with our people, but really wanting to go deep around care can really help to unlock some really strong performance. So as I say, there's some really interesting practical tips that you can check out in the episode with Sian. So definitely recommend you go and do that. Really interesting few weeks in the talent market, and definitely there's been a little bit of an adjustment in terms of the momentum that we were seeing at the start of the year around activity at the senior end and this kind of focus from organizations to really try and invest to take their business to new levels in 2026. I wouldn't say that it's completely fallen off, but there's definitely been a leveling out with some of the macro events that have been happening both globally and at a local level. And while those things will continue to play out in the background and will stabilize along our way, I think one of the really big things alongside that is definitely at the forefront of people's minds is AI. And we spoke a little bit about this in the last mini episode and how in many publications and media outlets, AI Armageddon is around the corner. It's clearly not that. If I think about some of the conversations that I have had definitely in the last 10 days with senior HR leaders and C-level executives across the retail and consumer markets, it is definitely very much more about experimentation and exploration around where AI can help to fundamentally drive greater efficiency within people to then fuel greater levels of productivity. And if this is where you're at as a business leader and as an organization, more around exploring where AI can help you become more efficient and be more productive and help your teams be more productive, then my advice is if you are out in market or if you're looking to try and cultivate talent within your teams, be open and upfront as to where you are in that cycle. Why? Well, quite simply, if you want to attract or retain your best, you absolutely need to be open about where the organization is at around this AI journey and what that means for them as an individual coming into your business. Because if you think about it realistically, anyone who feels like they are about to join or they are about to be a part of an organization where their role might be at risk because of wide-scale focus on letting technology do everything, then it may prompt them to think about whether the environment is going to be the right place for them now and into the future. Now, again, I'm not sitting here saying that it is Armageddon and doomsday, but if you have an open and transparent conversation around where the AI piece is for your business and how a role that you're hiring or how an individual can evolve in that new landscape and take their career forward, then that is going to be a really productive career conversation that will make someone sit up and take notice. Because whatever is happening from an AI standpoint and how that impacts jobs of the future, the skills that people can learn here and now about how they can leverage the technology to be more productive, drive at a greater pace, help an organization realize gains that they didn't necessarily think were possible, is not only going to help them for now in the organization that you're in and that you lead, it's also going to help them for the future. So think about that in terms of how it is that you go about building your team, engaging talent that already exists within your organization and you want to cultivate to be even better. And also when you're trying to attract the right talent from outside. This is not going away. It is something that we will be talking about in an ongoing basis, just like any other major piece of technology implementation or revolution that we've experienced over the last 100, 150, 200 years. It will evolve, it will level out, we will adapt to what the new world looks like, and then we will move forward. It's whether you want to engage your best people to be a part of that journey who can then help you perhaps move quicker to obtain those goals or not. So some things there to think about around the AI space. That's all for this week's mini episode of Built Different. Really short and sharp one. Really looking forward to the next conversation that we've got coming up. It's with a senior CEO within the supply chain and transportation industry, someone who's helped really scale teams to deliver outstanding performance and is now giving a little bit back in their industry as well. So I won't share much more than that. You'll have to tune in to check it out. And for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, if you haven't already, would really love it if you could subscribe to the HireQ YouTube channel to make sure that you don't miss the upcoming episodes of Built Different. If you're following on Spotify, just click the little bell there to ensure that you catch that next episode as it lands. And if you haven't also already, please follow HireQ and myself via our socials and especially via LinkedIn, where we keep all of the upcoming trends and movements in the talent market across those channels. But for now, thanks so much for tuning in to this week's mini episode. Hope you have a great week and we will see you at our next conversation.